You're watching Last Minute Laura. Hi guys! Today I'm back with another tutorial, and in this one I'm going to show you how to mend your old jeans. So you can see these jeans are a little bit stretched out, they need a little bit of work, and I decided I don't want to throw them out. I want to fix them up. So, for this project, I am going to work on patching up both of the knees, and I'm going to do a fun technique to make it super cute. I'm also going to replace both of the front pockets. They're all loose and they don't really sit flat anymore. I'm also going to take these jeans in quite a bit because the elastic inside is all stretched out, and I'm going to replace those back pockets because they're kind of permanently stretched. I'm going to also add a little bit of extra detail with embroidery. So to get started with this project, you're going to need a pair of jeans that you want to update, some scissors, an embroidery hoop, a thimble, embroidery floss, a sewing needle, pins, extra denim, and any other fun things that you want to stitch to your jeans. Getting started, I just kind of was trying to figure out what I wanted to do first, and for this video, I'm actually just going to be replacing one of those knees. I'm going to patch it up, and I'm going to use a technique of embroidery to actually mend the jeans. To do that, I need a patch to put behind that hole, and I'm using an old pair of jeans that I've been harvesting from for quite some time to grab that patch. Stretching out the fabric, make sure it's about the right size. And then I'm just going to roll up the cuffs. That's just going to make it easier to work with when I'm actually doing the embroidery. Then I'm just going to cut out those rough edges so I can see how big that hole actually is. And then I decided I wanted the patch to be actually a circular one. So I traced the embroidery hoop that I wanted to use and then just cut along that line so that the hole would be a nice circle. It's not really important that it's perfect, it's just circle I thought would look kind of cute. Then I trimmed down my patch so that it would fit behind that circle. You don't want it to be an actual circle. You're better off making it a big square. That way you have more fabric working with the mend. I just made a duplicate of that patch for the other knee. Even though that won't be in this video, it'll kind of get us started for that second knee, just so I know how big it needs to be. There we go. And then I put that patch behind the hole that I had made, and then I tried to color match the thread to something I thought would be cute. So for this one, I decided I would use black and dark, dark, dark blue and dark, dark, dark gray when I ran out of the black. Then, this is a really important step, pin your patch in place. It wiggles around when you're doing hand embroidery with it, so you're better off just putting as many pins as you can in it before you get started. And then what I decided to do was a running stitch just all the way across, a straight running stitch from one side of the leg to the other, and then I changed directions and came back down. With this, I am doing 3 pieces of embroidery floss thread. So the embroidery floss comes with 6 threads to the floss, and I divided it in half so that I was just using 3. And then I just did this running stitch all the way down, bit by bit. You can see I've got the thimble out now. Denim is pretty stiff, so after repinning, I go back in and I'm just gonna embroider all the way down with that embroidery floss, and once we get to that patch, the embroidery floss actually holds the patch to the denim, like the actual jeans. So it's patching it up, mending it, and creating a really cool look by having that embroidery detail. So I just go all the way across like 1,000 times. And I have the thimble out because after a while, that thick denim fabric really starts to mess with your fingers as you're pushing the needle through. You'll get a bunch of little nicks and cuts on your finger and they'll become pretty sore. So having a thimble around is a good idea. It'll just help you when you're dealing with the struggle of pushing it through. Also, when I got about halfway through the patch, I started working from the bottom up, and I found that this just kept my lines a little bit straighter. If you see in the bottom left-hand quadrant, the lines that are coming from the top are getting a little bit curved, just because that's what happens. And by coming from the bottom, I was able to sort of straighten it out without making it look too crazy. It gave a really cool effect though, I think. It started, to me anyway, to look kind of like a planet. So this sort of patch, just this first little bit, kind of got me inspired to make these jeans an outer space themed upcycled denim. So definitely come back next Thursday. Oh no, next Tuesday. I'm a little bit behind on my videos, so this is Thursday's video now. Come back next Tuesday because there will be a follow-up video where I do the other knee and it ends up looking like a different planet. After that, I'm going to work on the pockets and everything else. So I'm going to divide it into a couple of videos just to make it a little bit easier for myself, because this is hours and hours of footage. I know it's all divided into quadrants and it's only going to be a couple of minutes for you to have to watch, but to actually do it, it was several hours worth of footage. So you can see now I'm almost completing, at this point, the horizontal lines across the leg of the jeans. And as soon as we get through that, I'm just going to change directions and do vertical lines. Again, I cannot emphasize enough how important a thimble is in this. So this style of embroidery, I believe it's called Sashiko. I'll clarify that and it'll be in the description, but it's a Japanese style of embroidery that basically combines mending with embroidery. And the direction I kind of want this channel to take now is one of sustainability, upcycling, recycling, reusing, and finding ways to make sure that your clothes can stay loved, because loved clothes last. I read that recently and I really think that's true. Anything that you love or have an emotional connection to, you take better care of, you wash it on a gentle cycle, and you don't put it in the dryer, and you're good to your clothes and they last a lot longer. So I thought if I start bit by bit personalizing all of the things that I already like from my wardrobe, I will be less inclined to dispose of them simply because something isn't working. Instead, I'll do something like this, where I can just keep adding patches and make them into one-of-a-kind works of art. So you can see now that the horizontal lines are done, it does some pretty cool stuff, I think. I think it really has a cool look. You really could finish it this way, but I also wanted to do the perpendicular lines to just make it super, super strong. So at this point, I switched the color of the thread I was using to some really, really dark blue. Again, only using 3 pieces of thread at a time. And then in this little bit, I'm just zooming through the top stitch, running stitch, I should say, in the vertical. It just secures it just a little bit tighter, which I think makes all the difference. Because it'll last forever now. And you can feel, once you've finished going through all of the layers, it really feels like a whole new type of fabric. It has a different sort of weight to it, a different feel, and it's softer almost than denim. It's like it beats it up a little bit. I really do like this idea. And as soon as I showed my partner these jeans when he came home, he was all over it. He wanted me to do his jeans. So I'm going to be doing a specifically men's style for the kind of not so out there fashion of a basic adult man, as opposed to me. I like to wear whatever I like to wear, so this kind of looks a little bit out there, but for me it's just fine. I'm trying to come up with something that's a little bit more subtle, maybe using tone-on-tone denim so that it doesn't scream at you, but still gets the same point across, that instead of throwing out those jeans, mend them, fix your stuff. We don't need any more fabric going into landfill. We have so much textile waste going into landfill, and when we have lots that isn't organic matter, there's so many synthetic fabrics we're using now, it can kind of weigh on my conscience thinking about it now, that if it's not even going to decompose in my lifetime and I've thrown it out, it's starting to feel bad. Why are we doing it? Instead, let's just fix it. So if you have a suggestion on a different type of mending or something I could learn and maybe teach in the future, let me know in the comments. I love thinking of new things to film. I love hearing from you guys. It's my favorite part is seeing what you guys love and what you don't love, because then I know how to fix it for the future. So yeah, definitely give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do put out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and often they are crochet tutorials, embroidery tutorials. I've done sewing tutorials, dog training tutorials. There is no limit. This channel is just for all things maker and all things crafty. So if you have something, definitely let me know. So this is what that knee looks like when it's all finished. You can see it's strong, it's like a whole new fabric, and it looks super cool. It looks like it was always that way, like it's on purpose. You can see that other knee, that one's gonna be in the next tutorial, so definitely come next time for that planet embroidery tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!